Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Maximum here once again. And today I'll be running a quick review of how I was able to catch this very trade on Euro GBP from this very other block, right here. Cut it from here, and my target is this very sell side liquidity just down here. Although I might still end up liquidating my position, I might still end up placing my position if it trades down to this very fair value gap. Depends. But like either way. But like I dropped this very trade idea, I dropped this very signal on my public group on, on Telegram, and the guys there actually engaged as well. So you can do well to check the description of this very video. You see the Telegram link over there. Do well to join, subscribe to the group, and the subsequent time, make sure to turn on your notification in case some other time when I drop signals like this can as well engage and make money from it. And it wasn't just this very sell. I as well caught a scalp buy trade on Friday right from this level. Yeah, I caught that and as well dropped it before it played out on the group, and they also engaged and ate from it as well. Now let's do a quick review of how it all went down last week on Euro GBP. Now, first of all, I had my confluence from the weekly time frame. Let's go over to the weekly time frame, please. Yeah, Euro GBP weekly time frame. You know, the higher time frame controls the lower time frame. For you to get explosive moves like that very one, you certainly have to get your narrative from the higher time frame perspective. Now, I'm sure most of you might be conversant with what I call high volume imbalance. High volume imbalance. So you can just call it volume imbalance. It is the case where price does something like this. You can see this very gap. See this very gap here. This very gap here. This is what I call volume imbalance. So I had to just mark it out. Volume imbalance. Weekly volume imbalance. Exactly. Weekly volume imbalance. So after that, before price traded into that very weekly imbalance, we first had previous week's high being read being this very weak. This very weak, I mean this very certain weak candle, its high got raided. As you can see, it's over here. So this was the major liquidity grab. You understand? It was the major liquidity grab. This very high being raided. You understand? So like let's take it off our chart for the meantime. So this was one of the things that gave me confidence, and one of the things I saw at the weekly time frame. And also, this over here is my overall target. This is very low down here. As you can see, price created some sorts of relative equal lows here. As you can see, these lows are, although they are not that much equal, but like it could as well be considered as being relatively equal to each other. So this is price leaving liquidity, which it will certainly have to come back to grab before it continues in whatever thing it feels like doing. Now, let's go down to our, let's say 4-hour time frame. That was where I had my markup, my viral markup. Go ahead. Yo, so over here, as you can see, this was this is the weekly volume imbalance we marked out just now, as you can see, and it was where price tapped into. It was where price tapped into over here. And don't forget, this is also the previous week's high. I think it's the 2 weeks high or 3 weeks high that I talked about that got raided before selecting displacement to the downside. And as you can see, after price raided that very high, this was some sort of stomp hunt. This was a stop hunt. You can call it a stop hunt, or maybe a sell side, a buy side liquidity being raided. Like let's just mark it out as our stop hunt. Let's do it this way. Oh, what is wrong with my? Yeah, thank you. So this is to be considered as a stop hunt. I just put it as FH. Just make it simple. So right, excellent. Now, after that, what else happened? Price displaced impulsively to the downside. As you can see, we had a structure shift to the downside over here. This is our structure shift. This is our structure shift to the downside. Do you understand? Let's mark it out as well. Let's label it. You can call it, a market structure shift in MSS. Excellent. Enter. Good. So after we had that displacement to the downside, markets ran through this very low, led to market structure shift to the downside, and it started retracing back into the premium array of the previously established range. Like it got to a point, it stopped here. Share price traded into this very LVG. I traded into this LVG. To this LVG, and it served as support or resistance to price, which price used to continue trading lower. But like after that, this range wasn't properly balanced. Price had to come back again to mitigate this order block. And this was where I got my entry from. Price came back, mitigated this order block. And this is a valid order block. This is a valid order block. Why? Because it led to structure shift to the downside. It has a fair value gap close to it, and it took out liquidity by this very previous week's high that it traded. So this is a valid order block to me. So this was where I got my entry from, and it was very perfect. Let's mark it out as our OB. So, right, good. So I engaged off from just that very level, and here being our liquidity that was grabbed. So this was just our liquidity. You can just put it down this way. Sorry. Top, center, good. So after that, price traded into the mitigated the order block and started displacing immediately. And this was how it has been panning out. Do you understand? So my target will be just down, maybe just down this low. But like if price trades into this very FEG and I see some sort of reactions, it might give me clues that it might decide to retrace up or maybe continue. I know the market is always, it's always just a game of probability. You know, what you might intend or what you might want the market to do, it might end up doing something entirely different. Get and market market is always right. So in cases like this where we see the good moves like this very one that will give us 1:5 which is approximately 5%, it's best advice for you to pay yourself and wait for subsequent other trading opportunities that will certainly show up each trading day. Now, this very trade is still up and running. Don't forget. So you can still probably, if you see opportunity to, sell alongside, you can as well do that while managing your risk properly. Now, outside this, I also called out a certain trade idea on Friday. Let's take out this, sorry. As well called out a trade idea on Friday. So on that Friday, as price was retracing to the downside, it got to this very level. As you can see, it created this low. I think this was on Thursday. It created this low. And then on Friday, there was a high impact news on GBP, and price spiked to the downside, took out this very low, and started rejecting to the upside. So what exactly happened was this: price simply mitigated this very order block. This is an order block here. Price mitigated the order block and gave buyers a little bit of an opportunity to engage. So that was exactly what happened on Friday, and it bought to some extent and started moving downside again. Now, let me show you how I was able to catch this very trade and the exact setup I actually dropped. So let's go down to our 1 minute time frame. Let's go down to our 1 minute time frame. Yes. So as I was observing the whole thing on that Friday, don't forget this was the liquidity that market, excuse me, this was the previous day's liquidity. This was Thursday's low. Market spiked down the GDP because of the GDP news. Spiked down, took out this very low. As this sell side liquidity was weighted, I was very much certain that market will certainly decide to, give the buyers opportunity to, engage and get something and probably still continue lower. And that was what happened, as you can see here. So price traded into there and rejected that level immediately, started listening to the upside. I was still very much calm until the market retraced into this very level. And this level is a level of, if you can check, it's a level of previous support and resistance, as you can see. It's actually a strong level, as you can see over here. So as markets got to that very level, there is an order block that is properly situated there. And this was where I got my entry from. This very order block. Let's get this out. This is an order block. This bearish candle. You can see this very bearish candle before the continuation of the upwards movement. You can see after price busted down, this very last bearish candle before the continuation of higher prices. This is our order block. As you can see, it as well had an FVG close to it. So it was to some extent a higher probability order block. And this was just where I engaged off from, and I dropped the setup as well for the guys on Telegram. I mean, the public group on Telegram, they fed from it. So you can as well do well to check the description of this video. Make sure you join that Telegram group, because the contents and educational contents, the signals and everything I provide there, trust me, it is very much of an importance to you as a developing trader, and can as well help you, making more money as you are learning. Now, this was just the trade idea. I think I held the trade more than this very high, because I knew it was probably coming out to somewhere around this very zone here. So it was exactly what happened, and this was almost 1:5. This is 1:4 actually on paper here, but like on my account, I held it to, it gave me up to 1:5. So this was how I was able to engage. And yeah, after that, as you can see, markets got to this very level, mitigated the level I talked about, and then it continued higher. And hopefully we'll keep seeing it continued lower, and hopefully we'll keep seeing lower prices until my target gets, traded to. Like, let's go down and go up to 1 hour time frame. I'd love to show something. So in a case like this, as you can see, you can take this out. You might be wondering where else the markets might be intending to trade to. Let me just give us some sort of an insight. So from this very order block, this is a valid order block because it traded into an FVG. As you can see, this very FVG here, price traded to. So you might see something like this. Price retracing back into this order block and then continuing lower. This is very much possible. And considering the fact that this is Friday's low, we might still end up seeing price after trading below Friday's low. It might mitigate a PD array somewhere here, probably this very other block here, or this FVG, or decide to come down here first. But like, you might see something like that and price continuing higher. This is something that if it happens, there is nothing you can do about it. You just have to take it that like you were. I'll just have to take it that I was wrong, and I'll have to move on to the next trade. But like, if price trades down below this Friday's low, coming Monday or Tuesday, being next week, I'll certainly have to take out partials or like decide to close entirely. That is just it. So trading, it's all game of numbers. You win some, you lose some. So if you feel you will want to take your trading game to the next level, don't forget to join the link, the Telegram group in the description of this video. Thank you very much and peace out.